Okay, so this is what this week actually looks like. Now I filled in a few things. I don't need you knowing all my schedule, people. So I just, went and just started a few key things just to kind of get this planner filled in. I've got my work cut out for me for the rest of the day. But really what I want to do is I want to highlight a few of the things about the weekly and how you can utilize it best. So you will notice you have the top row of boxes. Those are always going to be filled in, and it's always going to be labeled church. That's going to include the ordinary form information and feast days on the top. You're going to notice that you have G, J, S, G, and so on across, and those denote which mystery of the rosary you're going to pray for that day. And I hope you know at least that much. Let's see what else. So we have each day of the week. Now you'll notice there's a little dot there. I don't know how organized you want to be, but I've had a friend recommend using that not just for the temperatures for the week. You could also potentially use it for NFP, I suppose, if you are a basal or symptothermal NFP user. Now, I have had some friends recommend or ask if I could include something that helps with NFP, but honestly, guys, there's so many different versions. Marquette and drawing a blank on the other one, Creighton. Those are just too sophisticated for me to actually add very simply. So this is just sort of a makeshift. If you want to use that as your NFP track, I mean, I don't know how that helps. I would probably want to see the up and down numbers, but in any case, let's move right along. So you will notice that there are 3 rows of blank spaces for each day of the week. Now I've chosen to write in here family, STW, which is the parish that I go to, and blog. Okay, that's how I've decided that I want to categorize my day. Now one year I did homeschool and I didn't find that it worked for me, so I adjusted that to just 3 categories that actually work better for me. And so what I have here is just sort of, breakdown of how I would particularly use these boxes for the week. Now I know I have 2 different sizes. This is the 8.5 by 11. And I know that some of you love the little one. I think honestly, it comes down to a couple of things, okay? One is a lot of you just want to throw it in your purse, and that's fine. That is totally fine. I have one friend in particular who has 8 kiddos and she uses the little. I don't know how she uses the little, but that's not my place to question. On the other hand, I need this thing open and laying flat somewhere where I can see everything. And there are some weeks when this thing is crammed full, and there are weeks when it's not, and that's okay. I personally just love the bigger one because I just need the space. Visually for me, it's just the better choice. But it's all the same content. The only difference is the size. So down here, you'll note I have sections. You can kind of use this box however you want. Now, occasionally, just like the first week here in the planner, there's a lot coming up. Now, why did I add this? Okay, so my motivation is always, how are you going to stay on top of everything that's coming up? I don't know if you've noticed, but our church is kind of big, and we like to pray and party hard. And so this is a great way for you to just sort of be aware, okay, guess what? Okay, Advent's coming up this Sunday. All right, let me make a mental note. Okay, St. Nicholas, this is a great way for you to just have some idea at a glance. Oh, you know what? I got to go take care of this for this feast day. I mean, this is a really great way to organize your domestic church. And then also I have this, the box is meant to sort of be shared here between the coming up section, and there are some weeks where there's no coming up section at all because there are no particular feast days coming up. So this box would be completely empty. And in that case, you would have more space to jot down pretty much anything you want. Now I gave you some suggestions, but again, that's all it is. It's just a suggestion. You use the space however you need to. So, okay, Here's your Ignatian Examine right here, along with a quote that's different each week. And you go back to the beginning of the planner, you can reference how to use that Ignatian Examine. I've also given you a pretty big box here for you to jot down whatever odds and ends need to get done. And then lastly, what I want to address is the reason why I don't have lines, the reason why I'm not going to have 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I will probably never do that. The reason why is, to me, this format lends itself to being much more tailored to what your needs are. And my needs are going to be different than yours, and your needs are going to be different from, you know, your friend or whatever. And honestly, if I don't have something to do at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever, that's wasted space to me. So I would just recommend, if you have something that needs to be done earlier in the day, put it at the top of the box. And if it's the last thing you do at the day, so like in this case here, my son goes to tutoring Tuesday evenings at a coffee shop. So my plan is to just, you know, take my laptop with me, and I will work on this post here for our photo journey. I don't even put times, and it sounds a little counterintuitive, you know, to be a mom with a large family and not have that sort of accountability, but you know, you have to do what works for you. And so I hope that this has given you a good idea of how to use this planner. There's really only one other thing that I want to show you, and it's not really all that necessary. It's just the last sheet of the book, and that's all it is. And then at the bottom I have the answer to the name of the artwork that's on the cover. So that is it. That is it for this. I look forward to seeing how you color your covers. I'm always excited to see how people color theirs differently and what inspired them or what they were doing when they colored it. And you know, at the end of the year, it's just kind of a fun keepsake. I mean, I know these things probably get pitched in the trash after the year is done. But you know, it's fun to have a nice cover that you can color and enjoy, and it's a great way to share the faith with other people when you have your planner out and about. So thank you so much for making it through all of these videos. I hope I broke it down. I know this last one is a pretty big chunk of information, but I hope that this sheds a little bit more light on the details behind it and the why behind it. And certainly if you have a question that I didn't address somehow, feel free to send me an email. Again, that's martina@catholicsistas.com, and I will do my best to go ahead and address that, because what I'd like to do is, whenever people have questions, is go ahead and answer those. I want you to be able to make the best informed decision that you can make before you buy this. And I'm always looking for feedback. I'm always looking for, like, what are some extras to add to it? Even though I've said at this point I'm not looking to add anything else major, I am always considering your input anyway. So thank you again for sticking with me through these series of videos, and I hope this makes your purchase decision a little bit easier. And thank you so much. God bless.